Hello everybody and welcome to Diamond Chronicles circa 1952. Today's game, played by Fall Classic, is the Brooklyn Dodgers coming in at 9-7 against the Cincinnati Reds coming in with a record of 11-8 on the Young campaign. Brooklyn has had a hard time getting it going so far this year. They've been winning, but not consistently. They lost the last game to the Reds, and we'll see what they can do here from Crosley Field. Pee Wee Reese will step in and lead it off. Batting .284 on the season, and there's a 3-6. Pee Wee Reese, 3-6, that's an out. Fact card says ground ball to second. One away. One away for Brooklyn. And here comes Billy Cox. Billy Cox stepping in at .288, and that's a 5-5, and that's going to be a base hit. That is a single for Cox. He will hold at first. Not going anywhere. Frank Hiller will pitch to Snyder. Snyder hitting .333, 4 home runs on the season, and that is an out. Snyder's a lefty. He flies it to center. 2 down. And here, the last chance of the inning, possibly Roy Campanella, coming in at .313, 6 home runs, 20 RBIs on the season. And he is going to hit a fly ball to Adcock in left. And that is the side. Frank Hiller does away with Brooklyn. And now Chris Van Kuyk. I hope I'm saying that right. Van Kuyk comes in with a 2-0 record, a 2.50 ERA. In the real world, he was 5-6 with a 5.16. So he doesn't have the best card in the world. But he's doing pretty good so far in the replay. Grady Hatton, 143 hitter. Steps in, first pitch, hits it to third. Billy Cox is there, 1 away for Cincinnati in the first. Here's Bobby Adams, 247 so far on the year. That's a 45. And that is going to be a ground ball to third. Billy Cox is there again. 2 down. Reds going quietly. And Johnny Ryostek hitting .250. He's got 1 home run on the campaign. And there's a 65. -6. That's 1 through 10. That is not going to get it. That is not going to get it. And Ryostek just toppers one to second base. 3 outs. And down go the Reds. And we are 0-0 as we go to the second. And Andy Pafko. Pafko will step up. And there's the pitch. That's an out. Pafko popped him up on the infield to the shortstop. 1 out. Gil Hodges, 185. He has not gotten his bat going real good. He does have 4 home runs, 9 RBIs, but a 185 average, 10 hits on the year. 4 of them were homers. Here's Hodges, and he walks. Hodges rolls an 11, and that is a walk. Runner on, 1 away for Furillo. Furillo, 3-13. That is going to be an out to short. And let's see, is Hatton strong? He is weak. So that is going to be a fielder's choice. 6-4. 6-4 fielder's choice for Furillo. And here comes Rocky Bridges with 2 down, 1 on. hitting nothing on the year. He has not had a hit yet. And he is not going to have one still, as he hits one to Borkowski in right to retire the side. Down goes Brooklyn again. Bottom of 2, Van Kuyk coming back out to face Adcock. And Joe Adcock, and that's a 52. That is going to be a check. Second base. That's Bridges. He's an E3. He makes the play. Grounds out to second. One away. Bridges makes the play. And here's Big Ted Kluszewski. Clue is hitting .411 with 4 home runs. Dangerous batter. And there's the 6-6. There it is. You can see the dice. 1-9 though, believe it or not, that is a double for Clue. That is not a straight home run, as he only hit 16 of them that year. So he's on with a double. 1 out, and Borkowski. And Borkowski rips a single. So we got a weak advance to left field. Pafko is not weak. So that is a risk. That is a risk. Kluszewski is not going to risk it. So that is a base hit. Kluszewski to third. First and third, Joe Rossi. Rossi, 16 appearances this year, a .375 average. And there is going to be a strikeout for Rossi. 2 outs. 2 on. Roy McMillan. Can he pick them up? He does with a single. One of them scores. Borkowski holds at second. And Cincinnati takes the 1-0 lead as Frank Hiller comes to bat. And he hits a single. Runner to second, and everybody scores. Faster average. McMillan is average. He goes to third, and that's a single, 2 bags. And it is 2-0 Reds. Can Van Kuyk get out of the inning? Here's Grady Hatton. And Grady Hatton hits one, 1-19. That is gone. A 3-run shot, and the Reds have erupted for 5 runs. And Van Kuyk is still trying to get his 3rd out in a 5-0 game. And there is going to be his 3rd out. A little roller to short. Ground out to short, finally. Side retired. Dodgers again pitching. Pitching has been the problem as they go down 5-0. They don't have much of a bullpen, so they're going to stick with Van Kuyk. It's only 2 innings. Don't have much of a choice. There's a 41, and that's a walk. Van Kuyk is on with a walk. Pee Wee Reese, 2nd time around. 5, that's going to be an out. Pee Wee grounds out to second. Van Kuyk advances. So we got a runner on second. 1 away for Billy Cox. Cox. And that is going to be a range check to the shortstop. McMillan is a 10. That is a 5. He gets there. And that's going to hold the runner. Ground out to short. 2 down. And here's Duke. Duke, 24. Duke is going to hit one to Grady Hatton at second base to retire the side. Brooklyn again without a run. Here we go, bottom of 3. Ryosteck, Cincinnati in control. Ryostek hits one to second. Bridges makes the play. 1 out. Joe Adcock. Adcock swings away, hits a base hit. Base hit to left field. Adcock. Clue back up, doubled last time up. Kluszewski this time is going to fly to center field for the 2nd out. And now Borkowski, a 211 hitter, steps up and rips another single. Adcock holds 2nd. 2 on. 2 out. Rossi up. That's a reroll. Rossi is up 64. And that is going to be a little roller to short. Pee Wee makes the easy play to force it at 2nd. And Van Kuyt gets out of it. So we go to the 4th. Hiller still pitching strong. He can face 34 batters. Here's Campy. Campy comes in and hits one to the shortstop. McMillan, 1 away. Brooklyn can erupt at any moment, though. I've seen games this year where they just exploded and get 6, 7, 8 runs in an inning. Here's Pafko. 25, Pafko on a 45 is a grounder to 2nd. I use the fact cards, and I do Replay Gamers blue die to decide the pitching column if called on. Gives a little more variety. Here's Gil Hodges. Gil Hodges, 42, and that is going to be a walk. Hodges walks. That was the 3 column. And here's Furillo. Still 2 out. 64. And Furillo is going to hit one again to the shortstop McMillan. Goes the short route. 3 away. Brooklyn with 1 hit so far. No runs. Bottom of the 4th. Reds 5-0. And here's McMillan. And he's going to ground to 3rd. 1 out. McMillan on a grounder to 3rd. Frank Hiller definitely staying in. Pitching a great game. 46 on the ballpark on a 9. And that is out of play. And he will hit again. That's a 54 chart. Base is empty. Single to center. And roll against Snyder's error. He's a 2. He does not commit the error. So it is just a single for Hiller. Grady Hatton. Grady Hatton on a 36. 36, that's an out. Hatton to center field. Snyder is there. 2 down. And Bobby Adams. Runner on first. 2 away. Adams is going to get a hit through the infield. Hiller's going to hold at 2nd. Hiller holds at 2nd. 1st and 2nd, 2 out for Ryostek. And Ryostek is going to hit one to center field. Easy play. Duke Snyder. Side out. Van Kuyt giving up hits and walks, but somehow only that 5 spot. In the 2nd inning, he's pitched well since then. All right. Top of the 5th. Rocky Bridges. And Bridges is going to walk. He's going to take first on the base on ball. Van Kuyt, I'm going to leave him in, but we're going to bunt. We'll leave him in, but we're going to bunt. And that is a 6 That means he struck him out. Struck him out on the bunt attempt. Pee-wee, there's a range check. That is to right field. Borkowski is a range of 7. That's a 17. That's a double. That is a double. And he's going to advance 3 bases. Bridges will score. He knocks him home. Pee-wee. Brooklyn's on the scoreboard. 5-1. Billy Cox. That's a 6-6. That's a 1-9. That is a single. Runner on second. Scores if weak or average. Left fielder Adcock is average. And he's in there. Cox knocks him in. 2 runs in. Brooklyn getting back in. Snyder. 1 away. 51. That's an error check to the shortstop. McMillan is a 6. That is an 8. And that is a fielder's choice. McMillan throws to second. 2 down for Campanella. Campanella steps up and is going to hit one to second. Grady Hatton is there to make the play for the 3rd out. But it is now 5-2 Cincinnati. As we go to the bottom of the 5th, Van Kuyk. He can face 31 batters before he gets fatigued. Here is a 54 check. Single to left. Error check on Pafko. He's a 0, so that's just a single. That's just a single for Adcock. Klazewski. Runner on. 43. Another out. Flies to center. 1 away. Borkowski. 1 down, 1 on. 34. And that is a hit. That's a base hit. Adcock trying to run on Snyder. No, he advances if he's weak. Snyder is not. He's average. Here comes Rossi. Rossi, 64 roll. That's an out. Rossi to short. Fielder's choice. Bridges is not strong-armed, so it's going to be a fielder's choice. 6-4. On the out. Now they're on first and third with 2 away, and McMillan. McMillan hits a 36, and that is going to do it as McMillan flies to center field. Fly out, center field. Roy McMillan. No runs. Still 5-2. Brooklyn trying pick up a couple more runs and get back in this thing and make it a ball game. In the 6th, Pafko. And Pafko is going to hit one to second base. Grounded him out. 1 away. Here's Hodges. Hodges, 54. That is a high pop to the shortstop for the out. I don't do rain. And rainouts, I do as played. And here's Furillo. Furillo hits one. 1-9. That is a 20. That is an out to center field. Side retired. 3 quick ones for Hiller. And Van Kuyk is going to stay on. He will pitch to Hiller. And he struck him out. Struck him out. And Kuyk seems to be getting stronger. Grady Hatton Struck him out. That was on a split result. 22. And here's Bobby Adams, and that's going to get through for a single. Bobby Adams gets through for a single. And now Ryostek, 2 down. There's a 51, but I believe that is going to be a K. On a KD check, that is a 1. And he struck him out. And into the 7th. We will go. Into the 7th. Brooklyn will send up Bridges and a pinch hitter and Pee Wee Reese here in the 7th. Here's Rocky Bridges. Ballpark. 3. That's a double. That is a double down the line to the wall for Bridges. And now Brooklyn will pinch hit. Pinch hitter for Van Kuyk. And they're going to bring in, they're going to let Jackie. They're going to bring in Jackie. Jackie isn't in the lineup today. But he's going to hit. He is hitting .444, leading both leagues in hitting. So why not? Here's Jackie. There's a 51 KD check. That's a 2. That is not. So it's going to go to the first baseman, Kluszewski. E6. That is an error. Kluszewski commits the error at first. Robinson is on. Bridges goes to third. Pee Wee Reese is up. Nobody out. Bullpen stirring for Cincinnati. 42. And that's going to be an out. That is going to be a ground ball to third. Runners are going to advance. Grounds to third. Runners move over. Second and third, 1 away. Cox. 3-2. 3-2 is going to be an out. Cox to the shortstop. Second and third. One scores, other to third. And a run scores on a 6-3. 6-3 grounder. Actually, we got to do that one again for some reason. 6-3. Runner moves to third. Runner moves home. Billy Cox picks up the RBI. It's now a 5-3 game, and Duke Snider could tie it with one shot. And he rolls a 35. And that is a base hit. Snider knocks in the run. And Brooklyn is right there with 2 outs. They're gonna try to get Campanella. This should be Hiller's last batter, and he gets him. Fly to right field. Borkowski is there to make the play, but the Dodgers pick up 3 runs, and it's now 5-4. Bottom of the 7th, and we have a ball game. And now Billy Lowe's is going to come in. Billy Lowe's will come in. Their bullpen has not been great this year. Lowe's will step up and will face Adcock. Bottom of the 7th. Here's Adcock, and that's going to be a grounder to short. Grounded him out. 1 away. Here's Kluszewski hitting .408. 4-5. That is going to be another Grounder, this time to the pitcher. Easy play. 2 away. Billy Lowe's coming in. Here's Borkowski. 45. And he got him. 3 up, 3 down. A little grounder to third. Ground ball to third. That is it. And I think Cincinnati is going to go to another pitcher. Hiller has thrown 109. We're going to come in with Frank Smith, who seemed to be their big reliever that year. 53 appearances in real world time. And here comes Pafko. 8th inning, 5-4. Frank Smith throws it in. Pafko hits it on a line to center field. Caught out there by Ryostek. 1 away. Gil Hodges, 35. And that is going to be another batted ball. This one goes down the third base line. Adams picks it up. Throws over. 2 away. Brooklyn running out of time. Furlow, 0 for 3. 54. Furlow, fly ball to left. Fly ball to left. Adcock, E4. He makes the play. Adcock is there. Makes the play and left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Billy Lowe's coming back out if he can hold him for 1 more inning. Here's Joe Rossi, 45. And he's going to put it in play to the third baseman and grounded him to Cox. 1 away. McMillan, 65. That's -4. That's 1 to 3. That's a 16. That is a 16. That is a fly out to left. 2 down. And here comes Smith. And they're going to let Smith bat. They're going to let him bat. He's doing well. They're going to want him on the inning, on the mound for that last inning. And here's Frank Smith, 62. And that's going to be a strikeout. He mowed him down on about 3 pitches. And we come to the 9th. Brooklyn, Bridges, a pinch hitter, and Pee Wee Reese to try to tie or take the lead in this game. And Bridges hits one to left. Adcock is there. 1 away. Pinch hitter for the Dodgers, for Billy Lowe's. They're going to bring in Abrams. Abrams will come in. He has not had a hit this year. This is only his 2nd at-bat. Abrams. If I can find him. He's in here somewhere. I know because I've used him this year. Shuba. Maybe not. Maybe not. I have not used him, so we're going to have to let the computer run him. And there's the count in there. Struck him out. 2 down. Struck him out. When I don't have a player card, I just turn the Action PC game back on and let the computer simulate. And here's Pee Wee with 2 outs. Last chance. 62. And he struck him out swinging. And that is the side. Pee Wee goes down, and once again, Brooklyn now goes to 9-8. 9-8. Now this was a pennant-winning team. Cincinnati, who won 69 games, is now 12-8. But I know it's early. And that's today's Baseball Chronicle. 1952, circa 1952, Brooklyn, New York Giant, Cleveland Indian replay. 5-4 Reds. They have one more game in the series, I believe. The Giants are going to be playing St. Louis later on today, and then I think Cleveland has one more game against the Yankees to see if they can chip away at their lead. So thanks for joining me on Diamond Chronicles 1952 Fall Classic, and I hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like button, subscribe if you would, and more videos will be on the way. Thank you.